What's going on YouTube? Marcus Crockett back with another video. First and foremost, shout out to all of the hustlers, the grinders, the go-getters, the people out there in their business, starting their business, making their business grow. I see you. I salute you. Secondly, if you were brand new to the channel and you just now watching, it's your first time here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button right now. With that said, let's get into it. So I'm not gonna try to make this video too long. I want to really get straight to the point. There's a couple of things that I do need to touch on, just so that my point is clear. I really want to make sure that my point is completely clear. One of the hardest things about this industry, about being in the commercial cleaning industry, a lot of people think, and even me, like when I first started off, when I very first started to grow, and I started to understand what it was that I was doing, I would even think like the hardest thing was to be able to get new customers. And the truth is that it's really not that hard to get new customers once you figure out a way that works best for you. I posted videos before showing you, I'll go ahead and stick them up top, but showing you basically 2 free ways on how you can go about getting customers. The method still works. It's never going to get old. It's always going to work. You'll be able to use it. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just going to take you a little bit of time and effort, but the method does work. I'm in the process of redoing some things. I got to tighten up some bolts and fix a little bit of the process when it comes to how we do walkthroughs. So with that said, I'm actually back out into the field. I'm doing like 95% of all of the walkthroughs just so I can tighten everything up. So when I go back to hire and move people around, that the system works the way that it should work. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. But I'm only saying that to say, reason why I believe like that getting customers is not the hardest thing. I went on a walkthrough yesterday, and this walkthrough we were in West Seattle, and it was a daycare. Now we have a lot of daycares. We got a lot of accounts in Seattle. We got a lot of accounts, all up and down this region. We probably got like 3 or 4 different daycares. So I wasn't outside of my comfort zone. So I go in, and right away, you ever like going somewhere and you could feel just the energy's off, like it don't feel right. Something's not right. So that's like the first thing that I'm really paying attention to. Like, this doesn't quite feel right. I meet up with my point of contact. She's expecting us. I don't never show up for anything unannounced. They know who I am before I get there, and they're expecting me. They're expecting someone from the company, to be there at the time we agreed on. So I get there, we meet each other, and I always open the same way every time, right? And after the opening, the exchange of information as far as names and so on and so forth, I will start to ask questions about the account. And I'm asking questions about the account, and at the same time, I'm trying to set myself up to start building rapport with the point of contact. Well, this particular, this lady, she had like this wall up, and she didn't really want to answer any questions. She didn't really want to show me around too much. But so strike 1 was the feeling I got when I walked in. Strike 2 was her really not wanting to. She didn't want to engage too much. That was it. There wasn't a third strike. After I realized that this really wasn't going to go anywhere, and I'm saying this because I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of walkthroughs. If you're brand new starting off, you got to see what works for you. But I know what works for me and what works for our company. But after I seen I really wasn't getting anything, I thanked her for inviting me in, and I told her I would not be moving further with the bid process. Don't expect a proposal, and I went my separate way. And she was kind of thrown off a little bit that I wasn't hungry after the business. But I just reached a point where we're not hungry for business, right? And I know that customers always come. So with that said, like, even though I'm able to walk away from a potential prospect and not think nothing about it, I know that I have 5 more, at that time yesterday, I had 5 more walkthroughs that I was going to get done this week. I wasn't worried about that. And I know that as today is Tuesday, so I got to check my stuff, but I'm pretty sure I got like 1 or 2 more. So I'll probably end up this week with at least like 8 or 9 walkthroughs. That's about the average. So I left her alone, and it just didn't feel right, right? And I'll go into this a little bit further in another video. But I base my interactions with my customers or with my prospects on two different things. One, is this going to be is this going to be an experience where we are partners, right? And two, is this going to be an experience that's pleasurable? I'll go in on those two things separately in another video. So just, to put it out there, getting customers is not the hardest thing. It's not the hardest thing in the world at all. But I will say, if you are actually having problems getting customers, setting up strategies, the links to my consultations are in the description. The links are working now. I know there were some problems last week, but they are up and working now. Go ahead and sign up for a consultation. We'll get on the phone. We'll figure out the best way to get you from point A to point B, and so on and so forth. The hardest thing in my industry, and it's not really just so much in my industry. I have a lot of friends inside of my inner circle of people that I deal with and other business owners. We all kind of have the same problem. It doesn't matter whether it's a service-based business or if it's a product-based business. We're all kind of having the same problem, and this isn't at certain times is good, certain times is bad. But it's consistent. It's always going to be like this, and you just got to know it and get ahead of it beforehand. And what I'm talking about is actually building a team. Now, when I say build a team, I mean that's so vague. I'm talking about I'm not talking about like getting bookkeepers or CPAs or web developers or marketing managers. I'm not talking about that. Like that, all that stuff will come later. Except for maybe like a bookkeeper. You'll be better off to get a bookkeeper as soon as you can. But all of those other things, those things can come later on down the line. I'm talking about the core group of people who are going to be doing the work. By the work, I mean the cleaning work. Who you have to build that core group. Now, I've already put up a video before about subcontractors versus employees. It's up to you to make the decision. I can't say who will work best for you. I know that there are pros and cons on working with both. I'll go ahead and I'll put the video up, but there's pros and cons on working with both. For us, for me, I will say that they both have their purposes. But I choose to rely more so on subcontractors. But for the sake of this video, let's talk about the W4 employees and building your team. And I'm going to give you two examples of what could be. I've actually gone through this, and this is something that you may face. I know other cleaning business owners, they face the same thing. So since we're talking about W4 workers, I'm going to make this clear. Like, because the work is always done at night, or 99% of the time is done at night, we do have some day porter positions, but I always want to put people in pairs of two, right? Just for efficiency, for safety. There's a lot of different reasons, a lot of different benefits for having two people work together. But let me go ahead and give you scenario number one. You hire two people, you hire them both at the same time. You do all of your due diligence, you do all the paperwork, you do your background checks, you do everything that's in the scope of your onboarding process, right? You get them in, they're working, and first couple of weeks, everything goes good. Maybe like your first month, maybe first 6 weeks, these two people start to realize that they don't like each other. They start to bump heads, right? Now, what's going to happen is this thing could start off small, where they're just arguing or bickering, not really arguing and bickering, but then it could turn into an argument. Then it could turn into something bigger, right? So it's best to handle that as quickly as possible at the beginning, because if it snowballs, it can affect your account. Now it can affect how the work is getting done in the account. They go from not liking each other to one's not vacuuming or one's putting stuff on the ground after the other one It's just it can get ugly, right? So this is why this is one of the reasons why you always want to be accepting applications, because you always want to have a good place to work, a pleasant work environment. You don't want to have the bickering and the fighting, even if those two workers are very strong workers. Even if they're really, really good, they're detail oriented, they come to work on time, they don't call out. Like, even if they're all those things, if they don't get along and they're together, you're going to have problems, right? And I'm speaking from experience. Scenario number two is this. You hire one person, you're looking to hire someone else, okay? The person that you hire, they go through the entire process, everything looks good. I'm talking about they do their background check, they fill out all their paperwork, everything looks good. I-9, the whole nine, the whole process, right? Everything looks good. They're on, they have keys, they have alarm codes, they're doing a pretty good job. And they know that you're looking for someone else. So they say, hey, my sister or my cousin or my friend or my neighbor or so-and-so, they're looking for a job. They have experience. So that takes a lot of stress off of you. It takes a lot of pressure off of your plate because you can go ahead and just pull this person in. So you bring them in, you put them through the whole process, background check, everything works out, boom, it's fine. You put these two together. Now you put these two together and they work amazing. They work amazing for like 6 months, 7 months, right? Maybe a year, maybe more. What I can guarantee you is this. When one of them find a better opportunity, they're going to take the other one with them. So now you're in a position where you're not looking to just fill one spot. You're looking to fill 2 spots. And this has happened to me before. Both of these scenarios that I'm telling you about has happened. It happens consistently. If you're in this industry and you've been in it for a period of time, or if you know someone who's in the industry, these 2 stories are going to resonate. If you've done your fair share of hiring, you'll be able to go ahead and back up what I'm saying, because this is not uncommon. It is what it is. People aren't always going to get along, and if you have workers and they find another opportunity, they're going to want to bring their friend with them, especially if it's a better opportunity. Maybe it's they're working in one building, or maybe they might get a company car, or whatever the situation is. If there's a better opportunity and they're open for it, they're going to go and they're going to take their friend. And even coming from an owner standpoint, I can't say I 100% blame them. If there's a better opportunity out there, they're going to go after it. They're going to go get it. And I don't necessarily blame them for it. I'm just saying, for the new people who are coming into this industry, or who are thinking about joining the industry, this is one of the things that you're going to face. Now, don't by any means what I'm telling you deter you from doing this, because I would rather have that problem a million times over than to have to check with my boss or my supervisor asking if I could have Saturday off for my son's birthday, right? I would deal with the employee problem 100 times before I ever want to go back. And you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to have to ask for permission to do things that you don't feel like you should have to ask for permission to do. And I don't blame you for that either. Because like I said, man, I got consultations and all of that stuff in the link down below. If you are in a situation where you're thinking about quitting your job, and you just want to get that extra bit of information, you want to take that extra leap, you don't want to go into this thing blindfolded like I did. Go ahead, utilize the links. If you got an email question, my email is down below. You can go ahead and send me an email. I try my best to respond to emails, but I got a lot of other things that I'm doing. So emails kind of get put on the back burner a little bit. All my other stuff, they do take priority. So I just want to go ahead and put that out there, guys. I will say this, man. Like, in the game of business, the spectators, they're going to watch, but the hustlers, the people who are going out, who wants to make something happen, they're the ones that's going to win. And this is another thing that was told to me, and I love this saying. It's that no matter what it is that you're going through, you got to realize that tough times, they never last. But tough men, tough people, they do last, right? So anything that you're facing right now, well, as far as business goes or whatever, like, you'll definitely be able to get through it. If you come up with a plan and a strategy to get through it, you definitely will get through it. But I'm about to go ahead and hop off of here, guys. Like I say, I'm always dropping jewels. You just got to make sure you're in position to pick them up. You do that by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.